Okay. So how many people did you invite? You're supposed to kind of...
I think about like 6.
Yeah, I mean, you realize that this is like a two-man show most of the time. You're supposed to
It's
talk about
it's
it.
my show, then you your sidekick.
Yeah,
Yes.
but what if I didn't want these people in? Oh, that's right. They're here. Sorry. Never mind. Maybe we should start.
Yes.
I pretend I didn't say anything. Okay. Welcome. You are listening to the Old Titans. This is John Paul, who is removing the foot from mouth, and to my left is
The one and only B-Man with no title this time.
no title,
Yes.
no
No executive producer, co-creator, editor, writer, director.
all that good stuff.
Yes.
So you're just B-Man.
I'm all that stuff plus B-Man. Yes.
Okay. And joining us this week, we have
Hard at work, Nick.
and
Byron.
just Byron.
Just Byron.
JB, just Byron.
We talked about this podcast weeks ago and months ago. Actually, this is the first time.
Yeah.
Well, technically, How to Work, Nick. They did a show. What we're gonna do today. Well, technically, we created How to Work in a way, didn't we?
We
created
inspired.
it?
We
Yeah,
Inspired.
inspired. That's a
Inspired.
good word for it.
we gave you guys your start.
And we gave you credit for that.
Thank you. Okay.
And actually, before they did the show, I did it in the mornings under DC Comics Rush Hour as well for at least one of the
Wow.
topics. So
Well,
this is like a third.
But nobody listens to DC Rush Hour. That's just.
They might not. I don't know. But I'm the one getting invited on other podcasts too. So
I've been on that podcast.
not theirs. I'm talking like national ones with stars and all this other kind of
You've been,
stuff.
you been on a national podcast?
Yeah, I've been on one. I was actually invited. I can't go to the week they invited me, but I was invited to one. They were going to have the lady who plays Cupid on Arrow. I was
Really?
going to co-host and interview her and stuff. But I'm out of town that day and can't do the podcast, so it's going to be a different week.
Well, it's funny because Star Wars actually asked me to be a cameo in the movie.
Hey, that works.
I couldn't make it, unfortunately. I was working.
Yeah.
What kind of cameos?
Jedi.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, I was gonna be the hidden
You were
Jedi.
gonna be
You
the
were
last
the last
Jedi?
Jedi?
I actually was the last Jedi.
That's a huge cameo,
It
man.
actually
Wow.
was me.
You should have skipped whatever you had going on.
I definitely.
I would have skipped for that.
Jump all and take days off. You know how it is.
Yeah.
All right, so as we normally do, let's get into the B-Man question of the week.
Well, first of all, you guys should all be thanking me right now. Because last week I brought this question up.
You did.
Are we concerned there was no Star Wars trailer? It's close enough away, 2 months away. We've seen like 3 by last year this time, right?
Or more, maybe.
Or more.
I don't know.
I think there were about like 2 or 3. I don't think it was more than 3.
But it wasn't silent. It wasn't nothing like
Right,
what we've
right.
gotten this time.
Right.
Yeah.
So after I asked this question, now you know Lucasfilm is they listen to our show daily, like every day.
Every day.
Even-
Even though we don't put one out every. Well, I put one out.
They
every day, but you know.
they don't listen to yours. They
I think
listen
they invited John Paul on their podcast in a couple weeks.
to Lucasfilm invite you to the.
You're not supposed to tell them about that.
Oh,
Wait, we'll add this one. I have a long talk.
Okay.
Hanging in right now.
Brother.
Anyways, were you guys concerned about the big lapse of nothingness right now? The toys are out, but that was it. Just the toys. Nothing with these characters. Even right now, you
And
still
t-shirts.
okay,
yeah.
merchandising it out.
Okay, merchandising.
But even right now,
I
2
remember
trailers
the
being out.
teaser, though.
The teaser was very brief.
It was extremely
Well, I mean,
brief.
it was a teaser.
It was a teaser.
But I guess I hadn't really thought about it until you just
But
mentioned it.
even
It was
right
a
now-
long, with the way ad campaigns are for movies these days, yeah, this one is pretty sparse.
Okay, does that concern you?
Concern, like, I'm afraid they're not backing the movie enough? Or am I concerned it's not going to make money?
Well,
I'm concerned about none of those things.
Not at all.
This movie's going to make $1 billion.
well, it's going to make tons of money, but you're not concerned this is going to be bad, or this is going to be like.
I mean, the way I see it, it could have been like a hyping mechanism. Like, they kept everything silent, and then when people were pretty much waiting, like, okay, we can't take it anymore, we need something, then they let something go. So now people are double hyped for this movie, I would guess.
Which, by the way, I'm actually intimidated by Byron. He's much smarter than all of us, so it's kind of like, damn, what do we do?
Do not be intimidated.
He uses big words a lot too, and that's one thing I'm like, God, I don't know what to say.
Alright, I'm just gonna start speaking slow.
Well, I'll say before the trailer came out, I was going to say I was only concerned that they might be worried they couldn't put a trailer together that didn't spoil
Right.
anything. Like there might be no good clips they could do and not spoil anything.
Right.
So I'm not so much concerned, but that might be the reason. After seeing the trailer, I don't think that's the reason because not really anything got spoiled. I mean,
No.
not anything significant to the story got spoiled. So the only concern now is are they just taking fans, taking them for granted? It's like, they're going to come see our movie. We can do whatever we want, as long as that doesn't start affecting the product.
Right. I mean,
Well, that was my main thing. Well, like, maybe fans are going to see us regardless. We're Star Wars. People are going to come see us.
I would.
Yeah, I'm going to see them too, no matter what. It can be Star Wars. It can be just Ray sitting there drinking a beer.
Star Wars The Brick, like they actually film a brick for 10 minutes straight, would watch it.
I probably would too, because the brick might move.
You're right.
So
Somebody
that can
in
be
the back
exciting.
Just, that's it.
So I was concerned about that part, but now seeing the trailer, I kind of agree with that. Maybe there was things they didn't want to ruin for us, so I had to give bits and pieces. Trailer looked great, so I'm okay now. I feel much better now.
It's weird though, because even the director I heard came out and said, if you don't want any spoilers, don't watch this trailer. And yet when you watch the trailer, there's nothing specifically spoiled, so it almost makes me wonder if some of these things that
Not
you
that
can
you pick up
infer
on.
from the trailer, he now just spoiled it by saying, oh, there's spoilers in there.
Yeah.
I mean, if it
Huh,
turns
I didn't
out,
think of that part.
if it turns out in the
That's
first
deep.
like 10 or 15 minutes of the movie, some big mystery is set up, that the only way to resolve this mystery is Kylo Ren ever going to be in a spaceship firing at another ship? Well, okay, it's been spoiled, and at that moment we'll know we saw too much in the trailer.
Right. Right.
But there's no way to know now. Out of context, I agree. I don't think there's anything that...
Or like,
Spoiled.
I mean, one of the things that's clearly inferred is that he's firing at a ship that his mother is on and that she might
Maybe.
die, maybe. It's all just inferred. If that ends up happening, I would say the director's the one that spoiled
Messed
it
it
by
up,
even
yeah.
saying that.
Yeah, because now we're going to be like, oh wait, it could have been a misdirection, but the director kind of confirmed that. So.
What if it's all mind games, too?
They very well
That's-
could be.
very-
He's using the
yeah.
Force, the Jedi mind trick on us,
And that I like.
Well, the misdirection is a lot, because you figure The Force Awakens, when the third trailer came out, everyone thought Finn was the next Jedi. Everyone.
Yeah.
He's got lightsabers to fight Kylo. This is him. And Rey's one of those maybe Han Solo type characters. Complete different version. Although I still am convinced Finn's going to be a Jedi. I think he's Force sensitive.
I wouldn't doubt that, and it kind of goes into the debate on whether or not Han Solo was also Force sensitive, because maybe he is that you have Luke, Han, and Leia, and now it's going to be Finn, Rey, and Poe. One of those two probably are Force sensitive, like Finn or Poe. I mean, it could make sense.
Do you think Han was Force sensitive?
And see, that's the thing. He could be, right? He made the Kessel Run in what? How much was it? 15 parsecs?
I don't remember.
But
It's around that,
basically-
yes.
Such a famous quote.
Yeah,
It
it's such
was.
a famous.
In under 12 parsecs.
Under
or whatever.
12,
Whatever it is,
something like
sorry.
that. So, in order to do something like that, you need incredible reflexes. It's been determined that, typically force-sensitive people have really heightened reflexes. So, maybe he could have been, and the Force guided Han to Luke and Chewbacca. So, I mean, you know how the Force it plays in mysterious ways, type of thing. So maybe he could have been force-sensitive.
I never considered any of that whatsoever. And now I'm like, wow.
For some reason in my head, I thought there was some sort of reference to the fact that you can only use a lightsaber if you were force sensitive. Isn't that like it concentrates the force through you or something? Or is that those things just work if you hit the button?
Yeah,
might not
it
be
kind of
right.
just works if you hit the button.
That's a button thing, yeah.
Yeah,
he
using it
uses
well and not slicing off your own foot,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
Those things must just be available at every corner store, right? Because everybody wants one.
Well, I have one in my house.
A
I mean-
working one?
Kind of. It makes noise.
I mean, I honestly don't think Professor Proton is force sensitive, but he has a lightsaber every time he appears in Sheldon's dreams. So I don't know if y'all watch Big Bang Theory.
You lost me on that one.
Okay, it's Bob Newhart plays Professor Proton.
Oh, okay.
After he died, he now appears to Sheldon in Jedi robes, a lightsaber, and
Bob Newhart died?
in the story,
Well, that's
Professor Proton.
That's
died.
depressing. I like Bob Newhart.
Yeah, he's
That's going to
alive.
happen sooner rather than later. I hope you're prepared for that.
I'm
He's a
taking time off of that too
Very
as
old
well
man.
when that happens.
Just beat man disappearing in the morning.
Right, so there is one other possible theory,
What's that?
and I really don't believe this one, but there is the conspiracy theorist and all of us that wonder sometimes, was there a second shooter on the grassy knoll, or was there,
Right.
all those different conspiracy things out there. They've been waiting and waiting and waiting to drop this trailer, and they dropped it the day after the big Justice League trailer. Marvel and DC have always had this, friendly rivalry, And since Marvel is owned by Disney, as is Lucasfilm, Disney has possibly picked up this same kind of Marvel DC, let's see what we can do to undercut type thing.
I don't think Star Wars in general is even remotely worried about Justice League. That's not even a speck in their radar. Like, that's not even going to bother us at all.
When exactly is Justice League coming out?
Nobody cares.
Well, funny you should mention.
Okay.
So the other, going into the news for a moment, the only news I have for this week is the plethora. Let's see, there's a word for it.
Yeah.
The plethora of trailers that dropped this week: Star Wars, Justice League, Runaways, Babysitter,
Babysitter, by the way, all of the trailers was the best one I saw.
Pacific Rim 2. I
Oh,
mean,
really?
there's one other one. I can't remember what the other one was, but there's just a ton of trailers. Probably because this past weekend was New York Comic Con, so they all were putting everything out right around that, which is why the conspiracy theory doesn't really matter.
Right.
They just now they could have been trying to undercut everybody and just saying, okay, there's gonna be all this stuff comes out leading up to it, including this weekend. We're gonna put our trailer out on Monday to kill all the interest in all the other ones. Not because they're worried about them, but just
Out of
Now you-
spite, like we're
now you-
Star Wars.
Well, you have to throw Thor in that, and that's a Disney property as well.
Well,
If
now that I think
anything,
about
that
it,
might explain the delay and kind of let Thor have a nice long run of trailers before they started throwing
Like Star
Star
Wars,
Wars
stuff out.
ones up
Could be.
there.
the final trailer of Star Wars from Force Awakens was released during Monday Night Football.
So they stuck to that.
They stuck to that part, but that was the final trailer. So this is why I think this one's like 1 month behind. Or
Something like that. Yeah.
I feel like there should be a third trailer by now.
third trailer for
of
Star Wars
yeah. And this is only the
instead of
second
a
one.
first or
Well, second, I guess,
second
or
or
whatever it is.
Yeah, because so far they've had a teaser and a trailer.
But yesterday, the day before that, they had a teaser to the trailer coming out.
That doesn't surprise me.
I mean, why do they do that these days? They have a teaser to the trailers now. Like,
Trailers
really?
are big business, man. People will go to a movie they don't care about as long as there's a trailer they want to see for it. If it's like the premiere.
And of course, the trailers are 2.5 minutes. The teaser is like 10 or 11 seconds. Next, we're going to get the blipverts. I don't know if anybody ever see Max Headroom?
Yes.
Okay. Blipverts were these really fast commercials, blip advertisements or whatever, blipverts. And they would screw with people's heads and make them explode and everything else in Max Headroom. That was fun. But what about 3-second teaser to the teaser before the trailer? I mean, we can get really ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Could be. I don't know.
Well, let's hope that
Like
doesn't
you
happen.
just have like a GIF of like Luke Skywalker's hand or something.
Yeah.
Like in just 3 seconds. That's just it.
That
Yeah.
kind of was what the teaser of the trailer was. It was Luke's kind of lightsaber with the scene, says mechanical hand. That was it.
So, but I thought our main topic today, we were going to talk trailers. I think
Right.
we're going to talk the two biggest ones. But since Aurora Bunch came out, I just wanted to see if anybody else saw any of these other ones. Like, I have not yet seen the Runaways
I
trailer.
haven't either. I didn't even know that
Neither have I.
was released. I'm
Okay,
excited
and
about
this,
that.
if I'm not mistaken, didn't Joss Whedon write Runaways, the comic, for a while?
He did not start it, but
Not
he
start.
did write it for a while.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
He took over for Brian K. Vaughan after several years.
Yeah, this one, instead of going on either ABC or Netflix, this one's going on Hulu. And in fact, they got Freeform, so everybody's complaining about DC splitting stuff up, including me, splitting their stuff up between CW and CBS and Fox and NBC. Well,
Marvel's really splitting it up.
Yeah.
they've got 4 different networks they're putting stuff on.
Yeah.
I feel like the only one they really seem to focus on is the Netflix stuff, since that's privately tied in with the movies. Heavily is a strong word. Tied in with the movies.
It's tied in somewhat.
The rest of it all seems to be
They
its
address
own
the
thing,
movies,
so
yeah.
they don't really care where it ends up. I guess it's
Could
just
be.
like we'll license the character and you.
Well,
can
they
do
have
whatever
4
you want.
networks. Is it 4 networks? Is that what it
They've
is?
got Freeform, which used to be ABC Family.
Right. That's where Squirrel Girl is coming out.
That's where the Squirrel Girl thing.
Wow,
So now
okay.
Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak and
I think
Dagger
there's
there.
another one too, right?
I don't know about could be on there, but and then Hulu is Runaways, but they have a percentage ownership of that as well of Hulu. So it's like they, except for Netflix, and maybe they own part of Netflix for all I know. I mean, it's Disney; they own a little bit of everything in the
I
world.
mean,
but
Disney is pulling out of Netflix too, so
Well, I know,
a lot
so-
of that stuff is going to be.
and they're
gone.
about to start their own streaming service. But except for Netflix, at least, we don't know the percentage. They own all these other ones, so it makes sense they would want to build up all their different properties.
Right.
Right.
But at the same time, if you've got a streaming service coming, why not push all of it towards your one streaming service to build up the value of that one to get people, not complaining they have to do it for one show or 2 shows, like Star Trek.
Yes.
But anyways, but none of us actually saw that one. So okay, Babysitter. You saw Babysitter.
Babysitter looked great.
Chelsea
I've never
Babysitter.
even heard
Didn't
of
see
that.
it. Yeah, I had no idea.
I had not heard of it at all. I saw it on trending on YouTube
Right.
and a whole lot of different people reposting it and such. I'm like,
I believe we posted it actually.
I didn't.
I might
You
have. Yes.
So what's the premise of it?
It's
Describe it. Since you
dark
loved it.
comedy. Essentially, what happens is this kid has a beautiful babysitter. You know, a little boy's dream. She's watching over him, like I'm in love with this girl, whatever it is, and turns out she's this big Satanist mass murderer killer.
Huh.
It looks like it's starting as an American Pie type
Yeah,
movie.
it looks like, oh, I'm in
and then
love-
goes into American Pie meets Evil Dead.
Yeah,
Okay.
Or
So
something.
it's not really like a horror movie, but it's like a horror.
It's
like
comedy.
A
It's
comedy.
totally
Yeah,
comedy.
there's-
Straight comedy.
There's like 4 main characters on the bad side, like her and then 3 of her friends. One of which was
Robbie Mel.
Robbie Amell, and they end up sacrificing one guy who the kid who's being watched sees, and that's the rest of the movie is almost like Home Alone.
Right.
Them trying to stop this kid and kill him, and he trying to escape away from them.
Right.
But you get all kinds of, humorous lines. I mean, I couldn't deliver any of them right, but I mean, there are things like when they kill the one guy and splat and blood flies. One guy's like, "Oh, I got blood in my mouth." What, dude? Like 2 and 3 people have STDs. I got blood of 2 different people in my mouth. You do the math. And
Yeah,
so it's that kind of humor throughout the
Okay.
thing.
it looked great. It's on Netflix starting Friday. Actually,
It's
it's
Friday?
going to be a movie. Yes, I'm going to watch it probably Friday night.
It makes sense. Friday the 13th.
Oh, wow.
Actually,
Yeah,
I'll be playing
realize.
Friday the 15th all night. I'm lying to you guys. I'll be playing that game all night long.
Oh, really?
And then one other one. It didn't just drop this weekend. That comes out this Friday though. The Happy Death Day or whatever.
Which I do believe Hard at Work had a preview
Yeah,
of that.
Hard at Work Matt just saw that last night, like a free preview thing.
So how did it hold up?
He liked it.
He liked
He
it,
enjoyed
okay.
it. Yeah. He said it's only scary in the beginning because, like, the premise, it's
Yeah.
like Groundhog Day. So
Yeah, it's
once
Groundhog
you know
Day in a
the
horror movie.
setup, the scary stuff you kind of know what's coming up. So he
Becomes-
said it doesn't continually stay scary. So if you're there for a horror movie, you might end up being disappointed.
Becomes
But
more of an action movie.
yeah, action,
somewhat.
some comedy.
Thriller, whatever.
I thought it looked great. I just hate the name. The name's like, really, that's your name? You know, go with.
My thing
It's a
is,
little
wasn't there
cheesy.
like another movie like that came out like just before it, like with the same exact premise? I can't remember the title, but like she's like in a car and she kept, or is that Happy Death Day?
I don't know.
I'm
This one,
honestly
she's
not
waking.
sure.
She wakes up in her bed each morning.
Yeah.
Like, the previous showed her, lying on her side. An eye opens up, and
Yeah, the music plays, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very, very much, Groundhog Day, that same type of thing. But one of the deaths was in the car,
Yeah.
at least that they showed. And I will say, I've seen 2 trailers on it. The first trailer was great. The second trailer, not so much.
I think I might have seen like a different trailer for the same movie
Probably.
then.
Yeah. And then the last one before we get to the 3 big ones, Pacific Rim 2. Did anybody?
I did see that.
I
Yeah.
wanted to, but I just never got around to it.
Yeah, I haven't even seen Pacific Rim 1.
Really?
Which I've
Neither
never
have I.
gotten
Neither
around. I've
have
got
I.
it
I'm
recorded at
surprised.
home and never watched it. Yeah.
It's a great movie for sure.
Everybody raves about it. I never seen it yet. I don't know. I have no
It's
excuse.
a fun movie. It's silly. But
That's fine.
If you want to see a movie with giant robots fighting giant monsters, that's
Yeah.
the one to go see.
Well, they're even talking. The production company's even talking about, and they're probably not going to happen. It's probably to generate interest in it. They're talking about possibly down the road doing a King Kong Godzilla Pacific Rim crossover.
Yeah.
Oh God, that'd be great.
I'd be so excited for that. Yeah.
I mean, it gets as ridiculous as you can, but if you can go just far enough ridiculous, it just becomes fun.
Yeah, and honestly, I remember liking that better than the Godzilla movie that came out either the same year or the next year. Like, they just got the giant monster fights
Yeah.
down better. It
Yeah.
was more exciting, more fun to watch.
Yeah, Godzilla was a good movie, but it drug in places. King Kong, they figured it out
King Kong was great.
on Universal.
Have any of you seen Shin Godzilla?
No.
No.
So it's basically like it goes back to its traditional like Japanese roots
Okay.
of the Godzilla.
Man
but
in suit.
No,
no
like
man in
not
suit.
even.
I
Like
miss Man in Suit.
I mean, those were like some of the
Yeah.
greatest Godzilla movies. But to summarize this one, there is a point where Godzilla is literally like a laser disco ball, and there's just laser beams coming out of pretty much every part of its body. Like you see Godzilla evolve from like a weird like egg bug
Yeah.
gross slime thing, and then it turns into like the actual Godzilla. But probably one of the most epic versions of Godzilla I've ever seen, and it was incredible.
That's cool.
If you haven't watched it, I would definitely recommend it.
As long as someone says, "Let them fight," I'm good. I'll watch it.
So we'll get to the big 2 then. We'll start with the one that dropped first, since it's going to be the one that probably I'm the only one who likes or loves or anything else. Justice League. That dropped Sunday night. One Sunday night. Sunday morning. It was Star Wars was the night one. So Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern,
Wow.
Justice League, the final.
Did you
trailer.
wake up when it came out? Like, did you set your alarm clock for that?
No, I was at church. I
Oh.
didn't watch it till I came home from church after lunch and watched it.
I was at church too.
Yes. Okay, that's good.
Maybe.
Um,
I should have been.
but anyway,
Sorry.
so that dropped 2 minutes and 30 some odd seconds or something like that. I don't know, somewhere maybe it's 240 something seconds. I don't know. So is that one of the ones y'all talked about as well, or did y'all
Yeah.
only talk? Okay.
We actually talked about it because we recorded Monday. We talked about that one, and then
Okay.
the Star Wars one we had to kind of tack on.
Got it. All right. Something I already gave away. I thought it was great, and I can dissect it, but
Yeah, we talked about it a little. Me and you talked about it
Yeah.
a little bit.
what did everybody else think in general?
Well, I mean, I like the way I was talking about it earlier. I like the way they portrayed Aquaman in this one because it's a lot different than how it is in the comics. He seems a lot more, I guess, childish or a lot more.
I think like
I
a
guess,
jock.
fun. Yeah, well, kind of. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
definitely see that. Like, I just love the part. I think it was. He was basically that whole arc. He's being thrown and like throwing his
Yeah.
spear at enemies, and then Cyborg catches him.
My
He's like-
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed that like banter from him, and I mean Jason Momoa. He's a great actor too. I think he was a great pick for like Aquaman. Yeah.
After you talking about, you didn't really, well, I think, because you said
Well-
you didn't really like that, but when you were talking earlier, all I could think is suddenly, if you mixed Khal Drago, I mean, that's since he played Khal Drago,
Right.
if you mix Khal Drago with Stifler from American Pie, if you mix those two characters together, that's kind of what you have with Aquaman here.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Oh, that's-
Does
that's
that feel
okay.
right to you for Aquaman?
It was fun. Yeah, I will say that it was fun. He's had characters that maybe not as juvenile as Stifler, yes, but he's had variations of his character that have been more barbarian-like, and so it fits closer to that.
Right.
I like the scene in the first trailer where he saves the guy, the fisherman, from the water, and he walks into the bar and he drops him and he says it's on him. Like, I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. I like that. But yeah, this one is going too far for me. I'm like,
I'm right
this
there
is a
with you.
guy I would not want to hang out with.
Actually, I probably would because honestly, I would hang out with Aquaman.
I think he's
I'd be the
bullying
biggest.
me, though.
No, what I would do is if we're best friends, I'd be the biggest punk in the world. I like pick a fight with anybody around me. Oh, you proud of me? You proud this guy too?
He just like he just puts his like mug on the table and just looks over and like grunts or something. He's like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can get him to befriend you, cool. But I just think he's going to bully you, call you a nerd.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
And he's going to go to the gym, work out real hard.
I'll go to the gym and watch him work out.
Gym
real hard.
underwater.
Boy, bench press me ways for his workout. I mean, that's what it is. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Probably a couple of us, one in each hand.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I still kind of laugh at JP. And I mean, you hated Spider-Man or you didn't like Spider-Man because it wasn't Spider-Man,
No, I enjoyed the movie. I didn't think he was Spider-Man.
right? But
Spider-Man
again,
has had one identity for all of his career.
nah.
Aquaman has gone through variations.
these characters aren't the Justice League characters I know. All right, Superman's backstory completely wrong. You and I agreed on that totally, right?
Well,
The way-
his parents.
The way he was raised,
his
totally.
backstory wasn't wrong. It was his parents'
Right, okay.
version of it.
So the way he was raised essentially is wrong,
Yeah. Although he went against their raising and did the right thing anyway.
which is exactly what he doesn't do in the
Okay,
comics.
okay.
Batman's perfect.
Okay.
Wonder Woman's good. Flash is not Flash. The Flash from the TV show is Flash. This Flash is totally different.
We haven't seen enough Flash for me to know yet, because he's coming across as the Wally West Flash.
Yeah,
Even
but
though he's Barry
he's
Allen,
Barry Allen.
he's coming across as sort of the Wally West one.
We're in medieval armor.
Which is what most of the people in the general public know, because that was the version of the Flash they did for the Justice League Unlimited.
See, I thought Wally West was more like flashy and cocky,
Yeah.
whereas this guy seems like ultra nerd
Yeah.
Yeah, he
and
does
like
seem.
super socially awkward.
Well, that would be more Barry Allen.
Yeah.
But I was saying Wally from the humorous, fun side of things. I
Right?
don't know.
Yeah, he'll be comic relief.
Yeah, the comic relief. Wally West was the more comic relief
Okay.
style. I guess that's what
Whereas
it was. Yeah.
Barry's more your typical hero
I mean,
archetype.
I love Grant Gustin as Flash from the TV show. I haven't seen enough from what I've seen from this guy in the movie. What's his name? Ezra or something?
This might be
Ezra
a
Miller.
Ezra Miller.
question. I thought
Yeah.
I thought they pulled that Flash from the TV show.
No.
Completely different actor.
Yeah, they're
Different
specifically
universe.
trying to separate it. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, I don't care for him. Cyborg doesn't look. He looks like he's a green screen or like.
Like a CGI.
Yeah,
like
I can't see this a guy being there.
He looks exactly like Cyborg in the comics, though.
Yeah, he does.
He really does.
And so, did I watch? Did I enjoy it? It was all right. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
The problem I have, and this is going back to, I keep bringing up old source here. the best trailer I've seen in like the last 5 years. To this day was Suicide Squad. That was the best trailer I've ever seen in my life.
That's why that movie was so disappointing.
That when I saw that movie, I'm like, this is the biggest palette in
I love that trailer.
I ever. But the trailer was so good.
Oh yeah.
I watched the trailer 100 times, and I saw the movie like, what am I seeing? Oh, that's a good part. I saw it on the trailer. Okay, move on. And that's what I'm afraid of with this. I've been so disappointed with DC up to this point that I'm like, I can't back this.
I'll say one phrase:
Okay.
trust in the Joss.
I trust in the Joss. The
Trust
problem
in the
is that
Joss.
Josh
He
only
didn't have enough time.
He didn't have enough
really
time.
make this his own.
he when you I mean I don't know, man. Zack Snyder, I don't trust him at all, and he did most of this movie.
He did most of it. You're right.
So again, I feel bad for what happened to Zack Snyder. I really and truly do, but I had no faith in this movie being good. Zero faith.
I will say I love the trailer. I thought they did a good job with the trailer of building in the story. You figure out, okay, here's the general flow of the movie. Here's what's going on. Here's how the characters interact. You got kind of in a 2-minute window.
Like the whole
You
history.
didn't get all of the mysteries and secrets and spoilers, but you got here's what to expect from this movie and the whole thing. Which is why, to segue into the other one, I was more disappointed in the Star Wars trailer.
And
I'm
that
going to
blows
love the movie.
That blows my mind.
I know I'm going to love the movie, but I was expecting the same kind of show me the flow of the movie, show me what's going on,
Right.
and instead we got lots of little clips
From
completely out of context, like we were saying, out of context with him, Kylo flying through, blasting at something,
I'm
to
just
make
gonna,
it look like it's mom,
But
but
all
who knows?
those scenes, if you listen to the voiceover, they fit what's being said.
See, I had goosebumps watching the Star Wars.
So did
trailer.
I. I got
too.
like
Yeah.
literal goosebumps.
Mhm. And I just want to
I
say,
didn't.
I'm a huge buff for like the Star Wars space combat. Like I just love the ship design. I love how different ships go in and out of warp speed, hyperspace or whatever. It's just super crazy. When I saw the TIE Striker, Kylo Ren's TIE Striker, like I lost it.
I'm right there with you, actually.
I love his ship design. Like I don't know. Have any of you played on Battlefront?
I have.
A billion times,
Like
yes.
so.
And no.
No. So
Actually, no, you have.
Okay, for a few seconds, but
You could crash in the X-wing, but good.
VR one?
Listening- the VR one,
the
yes.
VR one, yeah.
Oh, that was so fun. But whenever I play, I love to play the TIE Interceptor. It's just something about the way it's agile and it's super fast. And you imagine a TIE Interceptor times like 50 when you look at the Striker, and it's like, I want that ship. Like, if I could, that would be, I would take out Kylo Ren and take his ship if I was in that universe, essentially. I just
I've never heard of a TIE Interceptor.
Oh,
Never heard the phrase.
gotcha.
I saw him in a ship. It was cool, and I agree. I love the space stuff, the designs of the ships, so much more than Star Trek. I love watching Star Trek. That's for the characters. Star Wars, you get all of the rest. But I think we've seen so much and so many variations and so much by now. One more just doesn't matter to me anymore. It's like, well, it's one more ship.
Gotcha.
It's one more variation. Doesn't mean it's not cool.
Right.
It's just one more. I
It
want to know
doesn't-
what the characters are doing.
Right.
That's what I really want to know.
They
we
don't
know
want to
from
give away
this.
too much.
I get it. I understand, but we didn't get anything.
Oh, here's the deal. Here's the deal. This is why Star Wars is much better than your DC junk. I'm just going to say right now that Star Wars has learned, and Marvel has learned this too, actually. They don't beat you over the head with a story. They know you want to go out there and see a fun, exciting story. Fun, exciting, little cool parts, but a lot of fun action scenes. DC's like, I'm going to tell you this really long, drawn-out, boring story that has superheroes in it.
So let me get it straight. What
Yes.
we're talking about is Marvel, and by extension,
Star Wars, yes.
stuff. But Marvel has focused for years on art and the story. Let Todd McFarlane write it because all we care about is the art. And DC, art's important, but let's make sure we have Alan Moore's and Jeff
Oh,
Johns
see,
and people
no,
like that.
when
in
you're
there.
making the greatest writers out there, is Alan Moore writing these DC movies? Is Jeff Johns? No, Jeff Johns is, yes.
Yeah, Jeff Johns. is-
Okay.
But what I'm getting at is that has always been a major difference between Marvel and DC.
Right.
And if that is the lesson they're learning, is to make it more about the visual and the action than about the story and
Because
the characters,
they're-
that's the wrong direction.
No, see, you're wrong here. I mean,
See, the thing is, you definitely need a balance, but for some people,
and there is a
they-
balance in the Force. Thank you. Cool.
Well, yeah. Palpatine made sure that.
Yes, he did.
Hashtag Palpatine did nothing wrong. But you need that balance between the visual and the story, because I mean, yeah, you can have really, really great visuals, but if the story is like lackluster, then it's like You went just to see, like John you were saying, it was just, huge art poster, right? You have, like, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I thought it was a great movie. Really great. Like, there was a lot of effects, a lot of quirky conversation. The characters were really great and all that. But then, like, halfway throughout the movie, you're like, listen, like, the story kind of just frazzles out, and you're like, where did everything kind of go in that regard? So that's kind of like what you were saying with, like, Marvel doing the whole artist type stuff and not necessarily focusing on the story. We need a balance is basically where I'm going with that. And you were saying it's not the right direction to be going if you're
If
just
they go
gonna
too
continue.
far. If
They go too far off.
Yeah.
But I mean, different people like different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
Wow. Byron takes a lot of. I gotta comprehend everything he says first. I'm like,
Now, again, like I said, everything I saw in the Star Wars trailer looked really good. I didn't see a single thing negative. Well, I take it back. I saw one potential negative and one that was sad, but I'll come back to those. Most everything I saw in there looked good. I know I'm going to go to this movie, and I'm most likely going to enjoy this movie and love this movie. If I had not seen the trailer, it would have been the same.
Mm-hmm.
I just expected more. That's why the trailer didn't do as much. The two things I saw, okay, the little bitty furry thing,
it's a poem.
I'm worried about that thing.
Why?
Depends what they do with it.
This goes back to my thing I was saying a couple of days ago that you hate animals.
No, I don't hate animals.
I mean,
What are they going to do with it? Are they going to...
do you want them to fire out the TIE fighter? Is that what you want them to do? I mean, what do you want to happen?
Are they
It's
introdu-
screened.
Are they introducing them strictly the way Steven Spielberg used Reese's Pieces so they can sell more candy and make more money? Or is it actually an integral part of the story? If it's there just to sell stuffed animals, then...
E.T. loves Reese's Pieces. I don't know what the big deal is.
Well,
I mean, they're pretty good.
They're delicious. I love them too. I can't lie.
And the other is, they kept showing Leia the exact same shot over and over. Do we see anything other than Leia looking somber and sad and sitting in a chair or standing next to the chair or whatever it was?
She just died.
I know. I'm just
So
saying.
I'd be sad too.
Well, what I'm worried about is that all we get of Leia in the entire movie? Like, does she not
Like, is
have
that
much
the
more?
only footage
Yeah.
they have?
So it's not about her. It's the sad part is that all we get?
Yeah,
was
'cause I mean-
was most of our footage supposed to be in episode 9, which sad if we don't get all of that, and they're really just gonna have to stretch this footage and make it work.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell with what they gave us for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just really hoping that Leia has like a scene where everybody's like, "Oh wow, she's so badass." Because I mean, you look back to like the first couple of movies, and it's like you had this quirky star princess essentially, and she was just kicking everybody's ass. Like, I hope we get to see at least a little bit of that, or a more mature version of that. Now that she's like a general, essentially, that's what I'm looking.
I'm
forward
just
to.
throw this out. There's a question, movie-wise. Could Leia kill Kylo? Out of all of them out there between Leia, Han, and Luke, I think Leia has the most reasonable sense that he needs to go.
Yeah, Leia was always the most like pragmatic out of the trio, so I feel as if she would do it if it needed to be done. Basically, Han was a softie. Everybody kind of knows that, and that's probably why he couldn't do it the first time. But I think if Leia was put in the opportunity and she knew that the galaxy was at risk, she probably would have done it.
Oh, I don't think she'd do it either. I don't think Luke would do it. Like I said, Han didn't. I think there's only one character in all of
Chewbacca?
the heroes. Not even Chewbacca.
He definitely took a shot.
Chewbacca's going to do it. Chewbacca, I have no problem doing it.
I think honestly, the only one who would do it, if his programming didn't stop him, was R2. I think R2 would take Kylo out in an instant if he could.
Really?
I really think R2 would do it.
He's got that robot logic, man.
Yeah.
You cut right to it.
Mm-hmm.
And who see it coming?
You'll be standing like on one of the banisters that have no rails for some reason. There's always a long pathway.
And what is
no
with that?
rails.
Does
there's
nobody
R2.
want, like,
Yeah, this unassuming R2 unit's coming the other way. Kylo's not paying any money. Just bumps into him, knocks him off.
like, if you get a case of vertigo in the Star Wars universe, you're dead.
Yeah,
Man,
pretty
you
much.
you're gone.
And they already established with Samuel L. Jackson's character, you just push them out a window, they're
That's
dead.
it. Yep.
No matter how powerful a Jedi
Well,
you are, gravity.
Actually, apparently, he's alive. Or in that universe, he never died. No.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was alive. Because, I mean, you could survive that. Like, he was shocked. Yeah, Palpatine survived his own shocking, and he just got his arm cut off. Anakin got, like, his whole body cut off. I'm pretty sure he can survive. Like,
And
That
Luke
was
did a
kind of
big
the
fall in
joke.
Empire Strikes Back, too.
That's why I said that, because I always thought that was dumb, that's how they killed that character. But if they imply he's alive...
I think Lucas
then where's
himself
he
said he's
been
still
this whole
alive.
time?
Yeah.
he's Snoke. That's it.
Oh, now that would be cool.
That would
That would
be
be cool.
interesting, yeah.
I would love to see him come back into the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, as bad as the original trilogy, the prequels were, I'm sorry. I changed that. I take that back. I apologize. It's a heartburn from the... I'm sorry. Samuel L. Jackson, Mace Windu was a great. Obi-Wan Kenobi was great. Jin was pretty good. Qui-Gon Jinn was pretty good. But though, like, I would love to see Mace and Obi-Wan come back again. I would love to see that.
Obi-Wan, yes.
There have been talks.
You don't think Mace, huh?
All the new ones they created in the first trilogy, I just really didn't care.
He didn't do anything.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
he
a-
was very practical. He, like, pragmatic, I guess,
Oh, I-
is that he realized what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And he's willing to do it when most of the Jedis weren't.
Just
He
don't-
was that fine line
The
between...
character on the page was nothing there. Anything that people liked was Sam Jackson.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Samuel Jackson's
Infusing
awesome.
coolness into something that the character was
It's Sam
nothing
Jackson being a
character.
Jedi. How awesome is that? He's one of
Pretty
the...
awesome.
But my point is, if they had taken the time to actually write a good character, it could have been so
Well,
much
Lucas
better.
can't write. Let's be real.
Yeah,
he really
exactly.
can't.
That's true. Just don't bring back Qui-Gon. As long as we don't bring back Qui-Gon.
You didn't like Qui-Gon,
I didn't
huh?
like Qui-Gon at all.
Really?
Okay.
No.
I mean, he was like the first like hint towards a gray Jedi, and that's going to be like a major theme I feel in this new
Yeah.
like trilogy.
I think it's because of the actor. While I like the actor, Liam Neeson, at that point, he was in everything. He was like the main character in everything.
As well he should have been.
I just don't see it. He is not that cool.
Jin made the Taken speech. Like, you stole my Anakin and get that speech back? You return Anakin, we're fine. That's the greatest... I don't know.
That would be pretty funny.
I'll tell you this. The way this movie will end up being the greatest Star Wars movie of all time, and I know it's not going to happen, but the way it'll be the greatest of all time is if they kill Kylo Ren in the movie.
What?
If you can kill Kylo Ren, then you're set.
That would be like complete blindside. Like people would probably not expect that.
No, they wouldn't. But that would be perfect because then we don't have to get any more Kylo whining.
Oh.
Kylo whining
Well,
is
see,
just...
I'm actually
I wish
glad...
Matt was on this show because he would have some words for you right now.
He's like Anakin. I mean, Anakin was super. whiny,
Skywalkers
too.
in general are whiny characters.
Exactly.
Anakin was very whiny. Luke was extremely
But I
whiny.
don't want to see them build the main bad guy out of a... But I'm a bad guy, believe me, I'm
Darth
a bad
Vader was
guy.
Anakin Skywalker. Darth Vader was Anakin Skywalker. He was the whiniest character.
But not when
And
he
the worst
became Darth
actor.
Vader.
I
Once he
hate
became
Sam.
Darth Vader, he didn't whine.
It's coarse and
Think
rough.
about it. Once he was Darth Vader, did you hear James Earl Jones whine once?
James Earl Jones is capable of whining.
Right. So I mean, he
If
did
James
whine.
Earl Jones whines, he's like Black Bolt from in Humans. If he whines, his world collapses.
But you have to understand too, in the original trilogy, Anakin is technically dead. So he's not really going to be whining. He's a completely different person. So, I mean, that would explain him not whining.
I take it back. James Earl Jones did whine. And Episode 3. No!
That wasn't James Earl Jones.
But that didn't exist.
That exists. That wasn't James Earl Jones?
No. I
That's
don't,
James
I
Earl
don't
Jones.
think so. In episode 3, like towards the end?
The very end when he does the whole Frankenstein monster thing? That wasn't. Are you-
I don't think that
I
was
believe that was James Earl Jones. Jump
Look
off.
it up.
It was bad.
Google it.
Either way.
I'm going to Google it.
It was bad either way. It doesn't exist.
My take on Kylo is he's not whiny per se. He's psychologically tortured.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with Matt.
That whole movie, he's writing that line. Do I want to be good? Do I want to be bad? And then, of course, he makes a hard decision at the end of the film, which is where we are now.
Which is why Chewbacca would kill him.
I don't think he's going to be whining anymore. I think he's trying to solidify his place on the dark side. That's that.
That is why Nick is a genius.
Well, maybe he won't whine. If he doesn't whine anymore, that's great. Now he just needs to cut his hair and get rid of emo Vader.
You gotta cut his hair. Listen, you hippie. You with the long hair. I've seen you long hair before.
His is more. I mean, when you take off the helmet that you've been in for hours and should be sweating and everything else, you take it off and have this wonderfully perfect do that's just I'm just.
If Darth didn't get all his hair burned off, he would have grown the most gorgeous hairdo he could have.
Emo Vader. No,
Probably
I, just,
would've.
I don't
Nice
want.
mullet, I think,
I don't
at
want
least.
emo Vader. I don't want whiny Kylo. I want
You were
something
right.
cool.
He was
Thank you.
portrayed by James Earl Jones.
Thank you.
Whiny. He's just he didn't know what he wanted, and he was a very tortured soul.
I think he's so impatient, and when somebody else came out there with big power, he was just like, what the heck is going on? He wanted to be feared. He wanted to be
Yeah,
respected.
the actor did a good job of being like just confused and like
Well,
torn.
I'm sure the actor did what he was told to do, the same way Hayden Christensen was told what to do, but that didn't mean we liked
No,
what
Hayden Christensen can't act
Yeah,
your way out.
I don't think Hayden Christensen or Natalie Portman were told what to do.
No.
They were lost. So
They made it up.
far.
They just made it up. Just go out there,
I
make it
don't
up
know.
as you go
Just
along.
read it off the page. It's fine. One take done.
I don't know. But we don't have very long to go. So to answer your earlier question, Justice League, November 17th.
November 17th. Okay.
And then
Are you going to be the opening day, Byron?
God no.
I need to be there for Star Wars opening day.
Well, I want to be, and I mean, the only problem I have with that is like those lines are like crazy. They're super. I might be there opening night, like not the day after.
Well, that's why I buy tickets first and for premiere seating. That's
Yeah.
what I did. I didn't bother waiting with that stuff.
I probably should do the same. But like, if you don't get there early enough, like the line's out the door and you don't have a good seat, I'd much rather watch it when I have like a, at least not as crazy as in like a night. Because I went for the Force Awakens, and if we didn't get there when we did, like we would have been like all the way out the door.
that's part, to me, that's part of the experience.
You
I mean,
think?
when, no matter what the Phantom Menace ended up being, when it came out, that was an event. And me and several others went, along with a couple hundred other people, and sat in line overnight to buy tickets.
Oh my
I mean, I showed up at 8 o'clock at night, and they didn't open the box office for tickets till 10 o'clock the next morning.
Oh my goodness.
And we stayed in
We
line.
bought ours online.
I'm actually Phantom Menace.
It was the experience. I mean, we had so much fun. All 200 people, we were having so much fun.
See,
all
you know
night
what I
long.
did? I had a perfect plan for that. I went to the midnight showing, and I hate big lines. I can't stand big lines. So what I did is had tons of Mexican food all day long, and I sat there,
You cleared that
and
line out.
nobody was sitting near me. Put my headphones on.
Well,
I played my little Game Boy. People left me alone.
on that note,
Yes.
oh, sorry, that threw me. On that note, our time is almost up here, so we probably ought to find out what the B-Man has come up with for his question of next
All right.
week.
So Justice League big thing coming out. You think at least Star Wars big thing coming out? Is it possible Thor Ragnarok is going to get swallowed up, or will that be the surprise hit and beat everybody's expectations?
All right, so that'll be the question for next time, boys and girls, and anyone else that might be listening, like porgs or whatever those things are.
You hate the porgs, man. You just hate animals.
All right, well, for our guests,
Hard at work, Nick.
And Byron.
B-Man, I'm not the guest. It's my show.
then I was going to us, and then
Okay.
the regular hosts, the old Titans themselves,
B-Man.
and John Paul. We are out of here. That's right. Get into the dance.
Yeah. That's funky.
It took me a month to get into it. I do now.